Should you go billet or forged? This is a question that most AR builders eventually ask themselves. Hi, my name's Jason, and thank you so much for joining me today as we discuss billet versus forged. Now I have two upper receivers here from my friends over at Bowden Tactical. One's billet and the other one's forged. Now even though we're going to be talking about uppers, the same information applies to lowers. So let's discuss what the difference is between billet and forged. Now with a forged receiver, the aluminum is put into a mold and then it's pretty much squished together. Whereas a billet starts with a solid block of aluminum and then it's milled out. Now there's a lot of discussion over which one's stronger. And to answer that question, we need to go through a little bit of science. Aluminum has kind of like a grain to it. Now when you do a forged, that grain is squished into the mold of the metal with the aluminum. Now what happens is that grain kind of follows the contour of the metal. Whereas with billet, it starts off with a solid block. So all your grain is going one direction, and when you cut, you actually cut across the grain and you're cutting some of that grain away. So in reality, a forged is stronger than a billet. But that's not to say that a billet is weak. It's still plenty strong for doing whatever you need it to do. Now the advantage of the billet versus forged is in the design of the receiver. If you want that classic look or stay with something that's completely mil-spec, forged is the way to go. The problem with forged receivers, there's only so many companies that can make them. The nice thing about a billet is, well, the designer has a lot of freedom to make something that looks, well, cool. Really show expression and make something special. All they need is some CAD software and a CNC machine, and they can put out something really nice. I'm going to show you two areas where the designer has a lot of freedom to change things up. The first one is in the forward assist. On this forged, we would push the forward assist in, I would put a punch in, and then I would rotate this around and then hold the punch and then drive the pin in through the top to finish the install of the forward assist. Now on this foundation billet receiver, they used a cap screw. So my install is real simple. I can take the forward assist, push it in, and then use an Allen wrench to screw this in. That way I don't have to fumble around with a second punch just to do an install of a forward assist. Now maybe you don't like the ejection pattern of an AR. Left-handed shooters have a hard time with ejection patterns because as they're shouldering it to the left, that shell is coming across their line of sight. You could change the shape of a shell deflector to change that up. Now what I really like about this Bowden is it's rounded. It gives you a little more of an area for the shell to wrap around it versus the flat face of a forge where the shell just kind of hits and then goes off. It's really nice that you could change up an ejection pattern to meet a certain demand. Should you go billet or forged? The answer really is, what do you want? And how much is your budget? Because billet receivers are a lot more expensive than forged receivers because you have to pay for the machine time to mill all this out and make something that looks really nice. So if you're looking for that classic look of an AR, forged is the way to go. But if you have a little more money and you want to have a little more fun, billet will definitely get you there. So whether you go forged or billet, it's completely up to you and your taste and budget. Thanks for watching. Hope you're staying safe out there. I look forward to seeing you again soon.